I'm Larry Johnson, and here's how I see it. It's hard to change ourselves, even harder to change society. People resist change because it means they have to give up behaving in their old, familiar, comfortable way of behaving and behave differently. It means we have to change our thinking, our attitudes, and perhaps some of our old habits. Old habits are hard to break. The habit of how we speak, of how we judge other people, and how we act toward them. What is it that motivates change? In society, it's a dissatisfaction with the status quo. And in us, according to psychologists, it's feelings of emotional discomfort or pain. Generally, we prefer to remain in a state of complacency and comfort until we're pushed by circumstance to change. So, where are we today? Is this the time for change in our society, in ourselves? Are we sufficiently dissatisfied with the status quo? What has to happen, and how do we make it happen? Well, in order to bring about change, we must first believe that change is possible. Next, in order to change society, we need to find others like us who feel the same compelling desire to bring about change. Then we must ally ourselves with them and work together with them. It will be hard and painfully slow work. But the alternative is to do nothing and have nothing change. Change often requires compromise, even when we're 100% right. We can be right and still have to compromise with those who disagree with us, because if we remain stubborn that the only way to go forward is to be as uncompromising as they are, well, we might enjoy a certain amount of moral satisfaction, but we won't get what we want. And in the end, if we don't get what we want, we'll decide the whole system is corrupt and we'll give up, which will lead to a growing sense of injustice and cynicism and anger and despair, which gets us nowhere. If we care, we must become aware. But awareness is not enough. We must be willing to make definitive and positive changes in ourselves. And to change society, we must be willing to advocate for changes in laws, changes in behavior, and changes in attitude. It's not enough to rail against injustice and demand equality. Change requires more than righteous indignation. It requires action. And society won't change unless we change. I'm Larry Johnson. Until next week, stay well.